have a conversation, where do I start? So, small talk is a big part of American culture. I believe it's popular in the Western world as well, not only in US, but America is a king of a small talk. And today I would like to share with you why if you have a small talk style when you connecting with a lady, when you trying to impress a lady, create a rapport with her, when you use small talk not just as a little warm up, not as a icebreaker, but you use a small talk as a conversation, it kills your attraction. If she is if she is from Eastern Europe, then 10x what I just said. If your lady is from Eastern Europe and your communication is hello, good morning, how are you, good evening, goodbye, then you just sign you just sign your attraction death sentence, because naturally, we are more, some people might say that we are more deep or more depressive. If you look at Eastern European culture, if you look at our literature, at our history, we tend to turn every conversation into a philosophy. That's just how we are. Sometimes we get a bit more lighthearted. Sometimes we get a bit more upbeat, but it's just our nature. If you ever read anything from classic Russian literature, you would understand. So for us, the small talk as a conversation, it's not just disappointing, but it is very exhausting, especially if you are an immigrant, for example. If you are a lady that maybe lives in like, for example, I'm originally from Ukraine, and I know a lot of Eastern European people here as well, and it's like a special torture when somebody is um, never go into depths in a conversation, but just it's kind of like almost like you have conversational pillars and you never dive deep. When you dive deep, when you actually listen, you ask questions, or you want to know more, you make the atmosphere when the person can open up. This is where connection actually happens, when another person feels seen. When you have your four classic questions, or um you have your number of things, the person might be feeling like, this, they might feel that you are actually interested in them. They only start to open up, and immediately you change in the subject. I've experienced that myself, and I find it extremely exhausting. And sometimes when you are a foreign lady, so to speak, you are in a new country, people have stereotypes, for example, they have stereotypes about your country, or they know three phrases, and they think it's a great honor to tell that they know three phrases in your language, that they know three stereotypes about your country. And for us, I'm gonna talk in general as well, but a lot of people follow me for Eastern European advice as well. It's one of the most exhausting things you can do, because it's so surface like, and it's so uninspiring, and it's very tiring. Imagine if you would come from US somewhere, you would come to visit somewhere, and people would just say, oh, George Bush, cool, cool. Like, you have so much more about you than stereotypes about your country. Yes, it's okay if you just at the market you are buying things. I'm, by the way, I'm all about small talk as a great skill, when it used properly. I'm all about it. Small talk could be a wonderful connecting way, just uplifting somebody, making a compliment, making a comment. Small talk supposed to be used as a small talk. It is not a whole conversation. And some of the men who are, well, who I'm helping to connect with ladies the right way, I always teach them it seemed to be the biggest thing, especially here in US, for what I notice, for what I know, is that you trying to it's kind of like you answering an interview questions. You prevent a lady from opening up when she is telling you something. Instead of listening, taking it in, reflecting on the things that she shared, you just keep going down your list. This is how you kill attraction without even letting it to start. But as a skill in general, I think that in general, being able to have a lighthearted small talk, maybe be able to let people laugh, the point here is you just need to be mindful about the environment. Obviously, when it's meant to be a playful when it's meant to be like a playful interaction, obviously you're not going to go into depths about things. But very often, some of my clients, some of the men that I have been coaching through the years, they think they are being polite, but you just create a questionnaire. And yeah, it's not a real way to connect. Like, for example, what is a small talk? I'm gonna show you um, in a different parallel. You see these cute little earrings? The detail? It's just a little detail. It's just a little small talk. Maybe a bracelet, maybe like a little tiny flower you have somewhere. It's an accent, it's something, it could be a conversation starter, ice breaking. It's like a beautiful touch, compliment, warm up, way to connect. It's actually a beautiful skill. And I must say that, of course, in America, people are very comfortable with a small talk. And sometimes it could be a wonderful thing. You can actually make a connection with somebody. You can get doors open if compared to if you would have said nothing, right? But don't use a small talk as a conversation, especially when it comes to Eastern European ladies. Time X. I think maybe some other cultures that are more um, that are more like to discuss more either deeper things or more specific things that are more real. I think that discernment can come the more we socialize with people, the more we meet people, the discernment can come. Sometimes, I have this one person that I met some time ago. I could never understand like what his personality actually is, because he would always be a chameleon. And sometimes when you feel like, well, maybe you should put effort and answer the question into depth, there would be no reflection, and there would be immediate, how is the weather, how this, how was your school, how was this, how's your, so it's just too scattered. Ladies in the chat, if I have ladies in the chat, do you could you relate to this? Would you say that you feel depleted after somebody just making trying to, the conversation is always the same and it's always about surface things. And don't get me wrong, on a date, it really depends. When you meeting people, it's not always time to go deep and go philosophical. It's not always time for it, but it really depends. And sometimes it is nice to have jokes and laugh and forget about the problems. So you have to become a little bit of an artist, of a conversational artist, to be able to manage these things and to develop them. And the only way to develop them is actually go on those dates, is actually meet people, is actually engage with your family. So it's skills that you can learn. But sometimes when people ask you standard questions, you just feel that the genuine part is missing, that authenticity is missing. So I'm just sharing that. Welcome, welcome, my dear friends. A little lunchtime chat from me. I might take a break for the weekend. I have some beautiful plans. I hope you enjoy the channel. We'll see. We'll see. I might have a minute here and there, but I'm planning to actually use my own advice and spend a wonderful weekend connecting with the people I love and uh, looking at the beautiful fleeting gorgeousness of the color palette here and disconnect from internet for a little bit. But I hope that if you feel that you're missing the videos, um because somebody wrote me yesterday that they are mortified if I stop making videos. If you miss my videos, you are good. There are thousands of them. Let me read your comments. Hello, Lydia. Welcome. Thank you for the wonderful comments that you leave on my channel. Hello, Jack. Welcome. Elizabeth, darling. Well, it's afternoon here, not evening, but I assume it's evening there. So, good evening to you, moderators, and my, how to say this, and members in the house. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, CCGB. Great to see you today. It's not the same without you, darling. Um, Jack Williams says, is it not better to start simple and build the connection up? Would going straight to deep conversation not scare somebody away? No, you are absolutely correct. You have to look at the sometimes with some people are so deep and you are in the right circumstance that if it meant to be really deep and meaningful, it just takes off. You can't, it's like a train. It just takes off and it's just naturally carrying you away. You absolutely have to discern. Yes. It's not all you don't always wanna go deep, but not just asking standard questions make a person a lot more authentic. It's like, how was your day? How, even even if you ask somebody how was your day, you can ask it, hey, how was your day? You okay today? You can say it like this, or you can actually really say it like you mean it. That's what I don't really steal. I don't know why I steal. Maybe somebody could explain that to me. Why couldn't you say, hi, how was your day? Like mean it when you say it. How difficult is that? Like people like, hi, how are you? It's just they're so detached, they're saying one thing, and it's so detached, there is no heart, there is no soul. You can say, hi, how are you today? Like having a bit more warmth and less detachment. But it really depends. If I would ever work any public in-person job as I did before, I worked, it was a time I would always put my best foot forward because it takes the same amount of time to say, hey, how are you? What's up? How you doing today? And be completely flat as it's adding more warmth to it and say, how are you today? Even if if you are a cashier. I used to work when I lived in Kiev, Ukraine, before all of this, a long time ago. I used to work in a big company. It was a operator. Like operator means tourism. So there were people that came to Ukraine from all over the world, and I was one of the people that worked in that company. And I've always just put extra care because I would always imagine that that was me or my family. If I was in Italy somewhere or in Spain or I don't know, in England, I would love somebody to give me just a little bit over the basics, because I was helping them with the trip, accommodation, special arrangements. And I would just always give them extra. I didn't know that that will turn into a side business that gave me probably 10 times more money. That was completely unexpected for me. I could not do it any other way. I just couldn't. I cannot think that somebody is in my country, in my city, and they don't have the full experience. They don't feel supported. They will go and get scammed somewhere. I want them to see the best. I will admit part of it is because of my love for my city, that I selfishly, yes, want them to have the best experience. But another part of it is simply human care. And our company, even though it was a really big company that I was working for, they didn't have anything like that. They only had uh, very regimented things. You know, they only had just, I don't know. They just had very there was no personal touch. Yes, if you want to order a service, you want to order interpreters, they can help you. You want to have a conference for a business meeting, they will help you. But rather than that, there wouldn't be any personal touch, and that's something that I just by accident I would do it anyway, and I've learned, oh wow, people are so grateful for it. And I remember people would leave me, you know, the tips for that extra care, and I would feel so happy. The satisfaction from it was through the roof because I was already happy, you know. And and I think that all of us, we are searching for connection, and especially nowadays when we make time for somebody and we want to be present, we put our phones away, we put our technology away. There is no point of being present and not being available, not being in the moment. So when you give a person that genuine responses, you connecting with them in that moment, and this is one of the biggest gifts that you can give. So story time as always. Hello, Mark. Good afternoon, Veronica. Peace and blessings. Thank you, Mark. Good to see you. Wait, something in another language that I don't know. Sorry. You looking delicious? Oh my god. Uh-oh. I always be someone that will lend an ear and be a shoulder to cry on. Yeah, well, you know, people do need that, that's for sure. David, hello, welcome, member in the house. But by the way, I'm sending you a short video or audio response today. I listened to your message. Yes, I'm gonna send you a response. I'm actually a bit surprised to hear what I heard, but I'm gonna record it and send it to you today. I like deep, meaningful conversations about who we are as individuals, goals, interests, values. I'm bored if someone wants to talk about baseball. Yeah, I hear you. Unless you love baseball and it's your passion. You both love it. Um, CCGB, thank you, darling. Mosey, hello. Yes, the interview, Lydia, yes, the interview like conversations kill the vibe. I'm sorry, yes, the interview like conversations kills the vibe, and they feel like they are not really interested in you. Yes, I talked about the interview style dating. Yes, 100%. But um, there is something about when we feel attracted to another person, very often when you think about it, it's not always about that other person in particular, it's the way they really make us feel. Sometimes when you go through breakup, you analyze, you look at things, you even realize that maybe that other person didn't really love you, maybe they didn't even know you, but they gotten addicted to how you make them feel. And one of the ways how we make people feel, one of those magical ways is when we make people seen, when they feel seen, they feel um, they learn about themselves through us. Because let's just say it how it is. Often our family members, even if you are very um, talented person, interesting person, you get used to just about well, almost everyone. You get used to. When you meet a new love interest, right? A new person, or you meet a new friend, it's like if you have a really beautiful connection, it's like you are they're falling in love with you, even if it's platonic, but they're just delighted by you. You you fall in love with yourself again. You know what I mean? You basically you somebody sees you in a different light. Somebody sees some of your maybe even hidden things, qualities. Um, some people reflect you. Maybe they feel see something in you that nobody else sees. You're guaranteed to have connection. You're guaranteed to like them. You're guaranteed to crave their presence. So um, because of that, it makes it so very special. Because again, if you are that person that you know somebody for a long time and you never stop admiring them, you find your soulmate. You found your soulmate. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a love interest, maybe it's you are in a relationship, but most of the times it's really rare. It does exist. For example, I do have one of my friends that actually two, probably maybe three, now when I think about it, that we just um have that pure admiration for each other, and it's never boring, and we always surprise each other, with different creative and unusual things, and we are basically in love. But it's my friends. So but it doesn't happen every day, right? And so when you meet a new person and they reflect, they admire you, they see something, some talent in you, they see something in your personality, they just make you feel so loved. Your shoulders open up, you feel like a different person, like you are falling in love with yourself. You A lot of people, they really, when they meet that special person, they do have affection for the person, but one of the most beautiful things is that you start loving yourself again. And it's sometimes harder without that person, because that person give you that validation, that in a beautiful way. Welcome everybody. I see we have some new people here. Welcome. um yes, it definitely didn't help. Mark Archer: since COVID restriction, people are completely disconnected from social reality. Yeah, it definitely did not help. Like, we already in a crisis, and when they restrict the in-person connection, that definitely was absolutely mortifying for very many people. Yes, I agree with that. um, because people, unfortunately, more and more get into their distractions. I spend a lot of time online. I use it to connect with people or showcase my creations, my products and services. And also I love creating connections because I know a lot of people need it. But when I'm in my own space, my phone is always, people are mad, my friends, my, certain people, because my phone is always on don't disturb. Especially when I'm with my loved ones, when I'm out and about, when I'm at the restaurant, even if I went out somewhere on my own, or I'm waiting for somebody, I'm never on my phone. I'm looking around. I'm enough in the technology when I'm home. I'm enough in the technology when I'm with y'all. How's my accent? So when I'm out and about, I I may have an actual notepad, like when you use a pen, you write things, or a book. Yes, I can sometimes have something, but I'm never on my phone unless it's a quick message to change and put down. So um sometimes we miss on the most amazing opportunities because we are too much on something. We are too much on um we're losing that beautiful social gift, and we are disconnected from what's going on around us. So we can, you can literally meet your friend for life if you just pay attention. So just an encouragement to be very observant and to dare to be authentic, to dare not to be safe on the safe side and just be going through certain questions, to dare to be authentic, to show up, spend same amount of time, but say things like you mean them. Even if you see somebody for the first time. Oh my gosh, I have a very generous super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dorby Flory. Thank you. Welcome. I don't know if you are a new subscriber, but I appreciate you so much. I assume you are a lady. I don't know if you're making derby hats, but thank you so much for the beautiful super chat, and I'm gonna read your message. Um, I appreciate hearing a calm and feminine perspective on today's social nuances. I hope you have a great day and please enjoy a coffee on me. Thank you. I definitely will. I definitely, most definitely will. And thank you for lighting up the chat. And I appreciate that feedback. I'm glad that you are enjoying the space and welcome. I am loving. I assume. Let me see if you would confirm that you are a lady. I probably think that you are. But yes, ladies, I'm sorry. I love my men, but I'm very much welcome ladies to this conversation as well. One of these days, maybe one of the cold, snowy evenings, I will open channels for ladies only where we'll share our secrets and beautiful things. Not secrets but just, it has been on my heart. So it will happen one day. I will give birth to it, and it will be a very small, it's going to start very small, so we can all create a community. um so yes, thank you again, Dorby, for brightening up my day and everyone else's day here on the chat. Let's see. I Somebody says I'm tired of friendships. I want to be married. I want to marry women. Well, you know what? That's a good goal. And he says I want to marry women who care about me. I'm from France. Lucky you. I know there is so much going on in France, but it's still one of the most romantic countries to me. I have a friend, you may have seen her, my friend Lana. She speaks a bit French and she knows so many things about French culture and places. I have a dream to explore it again, see it again. So don't cry, don't complain. Try to meet a lady that understands you. Good love, true love, long lasting love often also starts from friendship. Long lasting. The short lasting starts from something else, but something a lot more lustful. But long love, long lifetime love, that starts from warmth and friendship, and it lasts forever. Um, Mark Archer, I hope I saying your last name correctly, says if she brings peace to your life, you never feel worried about her while you're at work. Try and marry her. There is no try. Yeah, I mean, there is no guarantees in life. Again, like we talked yesterday, there is no guarantees in life. But I much rather live through life and have my experiences than they just live vicariously. I think people we learn from things we meet. We learn who we are through other people. Hi, KZ, welcome. We are getting vintage Veronica today. Film, direct, but yet soft and lovely. Thank you. Well, it's a daytime. Yes. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate the compliments. Thank you. Yes. Um, très jolie. Thank you. Thank you, 369. Thank you for the compliments. Somebody says, Robert says, I like dating women. Well, good for you, Robert. Nowadays, it's an important important to state that yes, we need real women on this channel, those that can what protect and provide for us men. Are you messing with me right now? Ah, well, maybe in intangible ways, yes. If you lost, you lose. Well, if you lost, I mean, yeah, I mean, there is. I am not gonna say that it's not a pleasant thing. It's not a joyful thing, but it just usually is. I mean, especially when you get certain age, it leads you to emptiness and disappointment if that's the only thing that you are after. Thank you, darling. Thank you, CCGB. And yes, if you enjoy the channel and you would like to become a member, I'm going to have some lives that will be members only, especially if maybe some of my friends or family would like to join. I don't want them to be a subject of public attacks, or not attacks, but I don't want them to have an unpleasant. I cannot withstand. I would be too embarrassed if I go live like this, and people who are not used to be on internet will get unpleasant things. So over the holiday season, there gonna be some nice membership videos, and just in general, if you want to be insider, you're welcome to join. But one of the most valuable things you can do is simply subscribe if you would like to see more of my lives. Just so you know, the subscriptions, some people don't know this, subscriptions are absolutely free. It's only memberships that comes with a cost. Um, Investment, I like it better. Hello, Samuel Douglas. I'm a Brazilian girl. You're very pretty. Thank you. I bet you are too. Brazilian women are so beautiful. Hello, Sultan. Hello, Michael London. Veronica? Yes, I'm still Veronica. Yes. Arnold, I like your sense of humor. Yes, so I just would like to remind you once again that it's a beautiful skill to know how to make somebody smile, how to make somebody laugh. We all need soft skills. We all need to get better with the so-called small talk, and it could be a beautiful compliment, it could be a beautiful icebreaker. But for my men especially who are following, don't try to lead a woman, create trust with her, create um, love and connection with her through a through continuous small talk questions. Try to allow her, if she feels like opening up, if she feels like sharing, just let her be. Let her open up herself. Don't interrupt her with a lot of questions. Sometimes you are enjoying someone's presence so much, especially in the beginning, that you're just full of laughter. You just giggly, and it doesn't always have to be a deeply philosophical conversation, but read the room, I would say. Read the room. Trust yourself. Trust yourself enough to read the room. Thank you for the compliments and kind words. If she brings peace and warmth, all good. But if you lust, the lust will become jealousy. Yeah, I don't find it very fulfilling, and I don't know. It's for to each its own. Okay, we can discuss it forever, but people do what they do. Some For many people, lust is a escape. Is a escape, and sometimes you are in the periods of your life, both men and women, what you have the most hormones, but we just need to remember about the aftermath, and it's more devastating for the women than for men. With men, it usually catches up a bit later in life when you realize that you don't have any meaningful connections, you have nobody to call, you discarded women after you use them for certain things, and you really don't have nobody, not even friends, not even ladies that are usually after people have lustful relationship, even if it's a semi long term, usually you get discarded because after the hormonal attraction ends, all you have is a person that you don't know and you probably don't like. I was a friend, and somebody we know came over and said, "Oh yeah, I broke up with her." This guy was he's a young, attractive man. I mean, fairly young, and he was with this lady for 6 months. They were even living together, and then he just like, yeah. He was nowhere to be found when he met her, so they had their physical connection took big part of their relationship, and yeah, he just said, "Oh yeah, she was a psycho." So 6 months he barely saw a human because he was tied up, in certain ways. But because it was based on lust, you almost have a bit of a disgust over the person, because when your hormones are slowing down, you can see the person for who they really are, and you realize you don't have anything in common. So often it just leads to disappointment, but people have been doing it and they probably will be doing it. It's just here we are about getting better life experiences and learning, and the same experience can be so much more fulfilling when you take your responsibility and learn new things and practice. um, Jokes, are jokes attractive? I would say the jokes that you can joke with your bodies, with the dudes, are very unattractive. But light-hearted jokes that are not offensive for a lady could be a beautiful thing to connect on. Me personally, I definitely have a warm place for a man with sense of humor. When it shows his intellect, it shows his uh, wit, wit. I cannot say this word. WIT. It shows that he is smart, observant. I really love, for example, Oscar Wilde with his sayings, and in general, I find it very charismatic when a man can make a joke on the spot. Just remember, it's not a bathroom joke, it's not a sex joke, it's not a diminishing, women or anybody else joke. Self irony is amazing. Self irony, when you can be, don't put yourself down, but when you are like when it's slightly self-deprecating humor, or it's just it makes that endearment, and it's a beautiful ironic thing, uh, beautiful ironic way to connect, and it can be in it can create that sense of endearment. Just no dudes joke. That should be another live video. Don't ever make dudes joke. We don't have to say here no dudes joke with a lady. Um, yeah. So if you enjoy the live, I have a lot of comments on. Oi, I'm sorry, a lot of videos on my channel. So if you would like to connect again, hop on the live again, consider subscribing. and hit your notifications too. Many of these women and American women want all your money. Really, John? Have you met all of them? Um, you are the glow of the moon. Thank you. I am drenched in your beauty. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I am glad. I couldn't imagine trying to live my life worrying about what women want. Okay, so don't. You're still here for a reason. Mark says, that's it, Veronica. Yes. Um, 6 months cycle sounds like something performance enhancing. Well, I don't want to know. Let's just put it this way. Mostly, it try to make it fun, comfortable, and keep your laughter coming in the deep moments. Between the deep moments, yes. If I make you laugh, we are golden. Yes, when a woman laughs, there is certain bonds. When she really laughs, not like, that's funny, but when she actually bursts in laughter, yes, it's just so beautiful. And they say that you continue your life by what, 20 seconds or 20 minutes? I don't know, each time you laugh. So some of us might live forever. Thanks, Gary. Countryman, hello. New Mexico, hello. All right, my dear friends, we are going to be wrapping up. Thank you so very much for hopping on. It was lovely being here. Yes, check out my other content, my shorts, my videos, my lives. I know they're long, but we're going to have short format soon here as well. With all my warmth and all my love, I'm sending you a warm hug from a very cool and very full Michigan. Beautiful colors. Maybe I'll make some more videos. I'm glad you enjoyed the beautiful red maple tree. It's just so beautiful to see. It feels like when you drive on the street, it feels like someone just painted those trees with all these bright colors. It's just so beautiful. So maybe I can try to film outside. And that day when I was filming outside, it was raining. So it was a bit over the top, even for me. But there's nothing I wouldn't do for people who's come here every single day to connect. Yes, Stormin, watch from the beginning. Thank you, KZ. Yes, it's my full style, full colors for me. Thank you. CCGB darling, thank you so much for being here, for moderating. Uh, Benjamin, yes. Hello, New Mexico. Lydia, thank you, Veronica, for these gems. You are so very welcome. Have a beautiful weekend. I will see you very soon. And please disconnect, even from me. Please disconnect and enjoy beautiful time with your friends, family, or have a quality time yourself. I will see you very soon. Thank you, Mark. Yes, thank you. I will see you very soon. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye. Wait, it doesn't switch.